All right, well, I don't want to keep people waiting. I'm hoping to wrap up in 10 minutes or less. So I'm glad you all could join me. This is one of my absolutely most favorite crafts because it's really easy and it doesn't take that much prep. And it's also fairly cheap. And so, you know, as teachers, I feel like cheap is always a good thing, right? So what you need are solo cups. So I have some examples here. If you're in Florida or in a Publix area, I find these at Publix. They are Solo brand. The white lined ones don't work as well. I've used them and you can use them, but they're not nearly as nice as the clear ones. These are called Ultra Colors. I couldn't find them at my local Target, but we only have a small Target. So I'm not sure which stores carry them or not. I know in Florida Publix had them. At Christmas time, they only have red and green, but if you look throughout the year, I've found yellow, I've found blue. So it is possible to kind of watch throughout the year to get a variety of colors. So for a class of 20 to 25 kids, I would get 2 to 3 bags depending on how crafty your kids are. There's about 24 cups in a bag, so if you get 2, each kid can make about 2 ornaments. Now we all know some kids don't want to make any ornaments, so they might make 1 and you might have extras. But I found that this was a great craft for the last day before winter break because you could put a movie on and they could be making the craft while the movie was going, and they might have a snack, and it's not really very messy, and it's quick, and they can take it home. So what you do is you get your cups. Before you melt them, you need to hole punch them. I don't think I hole punched these, but one year I forgot to hole punch them, and once they melt, you can't punch them. They're like rocks. The other thing you have to check for with your hole punch, I had a really little hole punch, but if you look, you have to be able to angle the hole punch down over the rim. So you really need a good old-fashioned hole punch so that you can fit it. Now, you don't want a hole much smaller than a regular size hole punch because they do melt down. So this cup, when you melt them in a 275-degree oven, they're going to melt down to about this. And you can see, if you see here, do you see how small that hole gets? So if you start off with too small of a hole, you're going to struggle to get your string through it. Oh, sorry, catastrophe. So what I do is I get parchment and I line 2 cookie sheets, and then I hole punch these. You have to spread them out because they will stick together as they melt. So you put them in the oven, and you know, don't burn yourself, but try and push them around so that they have room to fall and melt. And I can't give you a set amount of time on how long it takes to make these because it really depends on how hot your oven gets. My first batch always takes twice as long as my last batch. So what I do is I watch the oven. So at first when they melt down, they kind of go like this, and you'll get a big blob and you'll see a big hump in the middle. They're not ready yet at that point. Once you see them where they start to curl up on the edge, that's about the time you want to start taking them out. So for my oven, I have to actually open the door and kind of check it. But really, this only takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It's very fast. So this isn't one of those things where you can like leave the kitchen and do a whole bunch of things and come back. So the nice thing, and you have to kind of sell this to your perfectionist kids, but each one is unique. Some of them have bubbles in it because this is the bottom of the cup. You know, when you put the cup face down like this cup doesn't necessarily go flat. I found that it does help if I pull the pan out of the oven and with my oven mitt kind of push it down really fast, but it's still not going to be 100% flat, and that's fine. So, you know, I pull the pan out, I pat it down, you know, kind of just with my oven mitt, pat it down, and I put the other pan in. So while I'm prepping these, the other pan has started because, like I said, by the end they're going to go really fast. But take these off the hot pan because they'll keep melting. You know, as long as they stay hot, they're going to keep melting. But by the time I pull the next pan out, these will be cool enough to like throw in a bag or a box and take with you. So this is the hardest part of the prep work. Like this, I prepped 48 of them, and I bet it took me a half hour to 45 minutes. So the nice part is once you do that, you're done. Because everything else is just setting out craft materials and having it ready for the kids and letting them pick. So I have a variety of things, but I will tell you that really anything that you can stick or glue, you can use for this. It's really easy, it's very flexible, and what I would do is I would vary what I would use with each grade level. So I know my teacher friends have used this with 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. You could adapt it to 1st, 2nd grade, easy, even kindergarten, because some of the stuff is just like stickers and you just stick them on and they make their own thing. So let me show you a few things. I use nice little string to make my string that goes through the loop. You can see how I have them hung. Parents can use these as like sun catchers for in the window, or you can hang them on your Christmas tree. That's why I like the clear ones, because you can still see through them and the lights kind of come through. So I got this, I forget what it's called, but it's always in the dollar spot at Target. So it's like kind of like a ropey twine. I forget, it has a name, but I forget what it is. But you can also find this baker's ribbon or baker's yarn, whatever it's called, that red and white striped stuff is very Christmassy. It's really cute. So if you have non-Christmassy kids, you know, just have an alternative, because not every kid in your class, you know, maybe doesn't celebrate Christmas. So this way they have some alternatives. So some other things I found, and this was really just from a very quick, like, I need stuff and I'm going to go to Target and nowhere else. So I found glitter glue. This is just a random pack. It was about $5. This Elmer's glitter glue really turns out nice. I will say I would only use it with older kids. And even with older kids, it might be like a student-directed teacher do it kind of thing, because it's very gloppy and it takes a long time to dry. So if you're trying to do this and send them home the last day before break, don't use the glue. Another thing is stickers. I almost had heart failure over the cost of stickers. I didn't realize they got so expensive, so I would probably next time go to the dollar store. Another thing I have, little washi tape. It can be really cute. They just put a little sticker on it, stick it and go. I have these from when I used to make ornaments, so these have just been sitting around my house. So a lot of stuff you might just have in the classroom if you're like me and you hoard a lot of craft supplies. But these I actually got at the dollar store, and it was a giant box for like $1 or $2. I'm trying to find some that aren't tangled. So they're just like this. So all I did was hang this through the hole and tie it through in with the ribbon to hang it on the ornament. So those are a few ideas. Another thing I got was metallic Sharpies. The red and the green is too dark for regular colors like pink and purple, but the metallic ones show up nice, especially the gold and the silver can be okay. When I did Sharpies with kids, this used to be a teacher thing. So when they were watching the movie and doing their ornaments at the same time, I would just call the kids up one by one and I would let them use the Sharpies in front of me. Now that was with 5th grade. If I was doing 2nd or 3rd grade, depending on your students, you may want to just tell them, hey, what do you want me to write on here, or what do you want? You know, I know with some 5th graders, you know, if you sent them away with this, they'd have it all over themselves or someone else. So I find it's just better with these, depending on your class, if you kind of monitor it closely. And so if I were to use the glitter glue with my class, I would probably use it the same way, where I call them up one by one and let them do their thing in front of me and take it back with them. So I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I found these at Target too. They're in the gift section, and these are really cute to hang on, and the kids can use colored pens or something to write to and from and like the year. Great parent gift, especially for older kids. I think it's hard for 4th, 5th grade for teachers to come up with something that's unique and cheap to give to the parents, right? But this would be a nice personalization. The last thing I have here is cotton balls. Now you can go to Michael's and you can buy that really expensive like cotton batting stuff. This is so much easier, and you just have to show some of the kids how they can take a cotton ball and kind of stretch it apart. So you can take one cotton ball and get gobs of little cotton out of it. It's really easy. But as you can see for mine, like the cotton is something that I personally like to use because you can do so much with it. You can make a snowman, snowballs, you can make Santa Claus, you can make a picture frame. And I know that when I had it in the classroom, kids like this one a lot too. The last thing is, if your district is like mine, we got little cume folder pictures. So in our school, we had to use so many of those for the kids' cume folders, but we always had 1 or 2 extras. So I would say to the kids, if you want one of your pictures to put on your ornament, you can do that. So I would give them that option. So what I would do then is, that's a sticker picture, and they would put it on and then decorate the frame however they wanted. So Amy says the batting is too loose. Yeah, and it's really big and bulky too. So I found the cotton balls, 1, I don't have to make a special trip anywhere, and 2, for kids, it's just really easy to handle. So that's really all I use. But in the past, I've used googly eyes. Kids love the googly eyes if you can find them. Target didn't have them, but they would make Santa Clauses. Now you can see my Santa Claus over here in this corner. I just use Sharpie, but when I had googly eyes in the classroom, they would put googly eyes on it. At Michael's, I think I've seen them. In Walmart, they used to sell really giant bins of like fake gems. The kids love those, mainly girls, but hey, whatever they want to use, right? So if you got like a giant thing like that, a whole team of teachers could share it, and it would cut down on the cost, and then it gives kids more options. So let me take my iPad. I'm going to try not to make you sick, and I'm going to show you some of the things I made. Okay, so here's the Santa Claus, and you can see all I did with him was I took some construction paper, and this is just scraps or scrapbook scraps. You know, if you know parents who are crafty and they have craft scraps, because you don't need a big piece of paper for this. Here's the cotton balls, Sharpie. Here I made a little jingle bell ornament. It says jingle all the way. It has the little jingle bells, and I found 2 for this one. I'll see if you can see it. It sparkles a little bit. That was totally a mistake. I tried to put glitter glue on it, and it wouldn't, it really glopped up. And I had made the words too close to the edge, but I found if I used the glitter glue, it scrubbed the Sharpie right off, but it left a really nice shine of glue, and then I just rewrote my words. So if you have a Sharpie mistake, you can, you have to scrub a little bit, but it comes off with glue. So I found these at Target. They had them in the dollar section, and they had like a giant tube, a little ornament. So I just hung it, took a bunch of Sharpie, made a design on it. I also put Sharpie on the back just so that when you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see through that there's a pattern. I just thought it gave a little more depth. And so for kids who, maybe don't want to use all the other stuff, you can show them how simple this is. You could hang jingle bells. You could put a sticker in the middle. Here's my Emily. So this is her school picture this year. And so what I did is I glued her down, and I gave her a snowball frame, and I hung a gift tag on it. Here I took the snowman stickers. I just stuck them down. This is just dots of glitter glue. Here's the cotton balls with some, glitter on top of it. Simple. Here's what I meant by just sticking the sticker on it, and this would be easy for little kids. Stick the sticker on it, put stickers around it. This I did with glitter glue. This is just Sharpie. And again, I stuck a gift tag on it. Now this I will show you, this is my Pinterest fail. I tried to use this thin glittery washi tape I got once off the Target dollar spot. It It doesn't stick to paper well, and it doesn't stick to this well either. But you can see that the regular washi tape does stick really well. So what I would say to you is if you have washi tape and you want to use it, it needs to be better quality and that will stick. But you know, really cheap stuff, I don't know whether it's the material this glitter one is made out of, but it doesn't stay as well. So again, kids could just put pieces of washi tape across, glitter glue, and you're done. So that's the craft. Simple and easy. And again, if you already have a giant glob of craft supplies, all you really need to get are the solo cups. And I'm sure you could get some parents who would, you know, volunteer, or I mean, hopefully you have some parents who might have stuff that they would donate. So it's simple, easy craft. If you can find other colors in the spring, you could do sun catchers and things like that. It doesn't have to be a Christmas craft. So I hope that helps you. Again, it was just $275 in the oven. Watch for them to melt. I did write a blog post for everybody, so I'm going to put that link in the live for you so that you can link to the blog post and it spells the directions out a little bit more. But this was an easy peasy craft that I would make with the kids every holiday right before break. So if you have any questions, I'll answer them after the live is done. It's nice to have everybody. Thank you so much for coming.